slide. Just forget about the troubles in your 9 to 5 and just sail on. That's what you do, just sail on. Now the dude's so funky, hey, what do you think? What is it called? It's called a lakeside stank. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. I'm the captain of this vessel. We wanna take you on a cruise all around the land. Music is at hand. We wanna play it for you. You see, want to be. We want to be a crew of entertainers. Jam to the music, to the beat. Jam, yeah. Don't let nothing restrain you. We just want you to feel nothing but pleasure. Musical pleasure. Yeah, yeah. Our music is very real. Really real. Truly a treasure. Musical treasure. Come along, pack your bags, get on up and jam, y'all. Come on and ride on the funk, y'all. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. We're the directors of this cruise ship, and you are under our command, yeah. What you should do is take a lesson too, so you can understand. You know, we like to see people having a good time. Everybody happy. Do you wanna party? Hit the beat. That's what's stomping music. Keeps the people dancing. We just want you to feel. Just want you to feel. Pleasure, musical pleasure. Want you to feel. It's a world of fantasy. It's a fantasy. Together, pleasure, musical pleasure. Come along, dance in the sunshine. Take a load off the shoreline. Our music is very real. So very real. Treasure, musical treasure. Come along, pack your bags, get on up and jam, y'all. Come on and ride on the funk now. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Come along, ride the funk with the land of funk. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Do you wanna ride with me? Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Do you wanna go to the land of funk? Funk, funk, to the land of funk, to the land of funk, to the land of funk. Hey, come on, take a ride. There's a party over there that ain't no job. It's live, it's all the way live. Don't even have to walk, don't even have to drive. Just slide, slippity slide. Just forget about the troubles in your 9 to 5 and just sail on. That's what you do, just sail on. Now the dude's so funky, hey, what do you think? What is it called? It's called a lakeside stank. If you're ready to party and you wanna get down, bring your ma, your pa, and brother James Brown. Bring Auntie M and Toto too, and all the party people to do their do. We'll dance and party till the early light and say, hey, we're feeling alright. So come on, take a ride. There's a party over there that ain't no lie. We're leaving here in a cloud of smoke, and that's all, folks. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. We just want you to feel musical pleasure, yeah. 'Cause music is a world of fantasy. Let's live it together.
Welcome to My Convo 360. I'm your host, Kenyon Hilly, here with my co-host, Eric, and my main man, Leon, the Phenom, Martin. What's going on, fellas?
Hey. Man, everything's good. Good week.
Good week, everybody.
Feeling
Yeah,
great,
good weekend, Way
That's
to start
what's
it
up.
off.
Yeah.
I hear that. I hope the audience has had a great week. We are back with My Convo 360. On My Convo 360, we have real, uncut, and raw conversations that will allow you and those you love to explore topics that many avoid and are afraid to speak about. That's what we're here for. We're here to take topics and explore them 360 degrees to flesh out every ounce of wisdom and knowledge that we can possibly get in order to improve our lives and those we love. So tonight's topic is a tough one. We are going to begin to walk into the topic of betrayal. And I think that the audience has to hold on to their seats. And don't forget, in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, please join us there. And we are going to be open to receive your questions in the comments live on Facebook. So you can bring your comments there. We'll bring them up live during the broadcast, and we will address those questions you may have. And that way we can kind of try our best to flush out some of the questions you may have. So also give us your comments. We would love to address those as well. You can agree or disagree. That's fine. And we'll be able to walk those down. So fellas, just jump into it. We're talking about betrayal. And one of the things that I had saw just looking to the topic is that betrayal isn't kind of caught in one bucket, but that betrayal goes into many buckets. And some of the top 6 that I had saw online was betrayal was found in spousal cheating, cheating and significant other cheating, abandonment from a parent to a child of betrayal, business betrayal, spiritual betrayal as far as a church, and then family and friends betrayal. Those were kind of the 6 major categories that people found when they were polled when betrayal was the most devastating. What do you guys think about that?
It's interesting that there are these buckets, and each one of them can hit you in different ways emotionally. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to process them differently, because even though it might be the same theme, your response to all of those things are going to be different depending on how that betrayal took place or whatever the theme of that was. I just find that to be interesting. The business one is actually interesting to me, though.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how that could play out, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that look like? I wonder.
Yeah, the way I had kind of saw it was that they come into it with an understanding of agreement of terms. And then once they saw the benefits, one person secretly, under the cover radar, they would make some moves that betrays the trust of the others to benefit themselves, to enrich themselves. And they thought they were in it together. They were striving together. They were building together, only to find, in some of the cases, even their companies were stolen from them completely. That happened with Facebook.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know the history of that.
So literally Facebook, the twins, they actually sued Mark Zuckerberg and got multi hundreds of millions of dollars when they were all working together, and then he, made some decisions.
Yeah.
I
do know McDonald's had the same thing. Not to keep it on this, but there were these brothers that owned McDonald's.
Yes.
And a dude came in from the East Coast. I don't know if you guys seen The Founder.
I have.
Yeah, that's a good movie, by the way.
Great movie.
And the reason I like that movie is that it didn't depict him. It's the character who played the guy who did all the janky stuff.
Right.
They didn't portray him in a positive light. It was just what it was. You got the history of it. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times you see these movies and they depict the guy as a hero or whatever, but they just showed him for who he was. And he was kind of a snake where he took over the business little by little, but he did it from the East Coast. And he was so much business savvy, much more business savvy, that he was able to get away with it.
Yes.
And he just overtook him and strong-armed him. That's crazy.
One more I found that I thought we could add in that would be it would be confidential information.
Yes.
Like you tell somebody something.
Yes.
Hey, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Hey, don't tell nobody, and then they leak your information. That's a big one.
It is, and it's so devastating because it was a risk telling the person you told.
Yeah.
And it was probably uncomfortable, embarrassing, and everything else. And then you entrusted them with the information that chances are no one on the planet knows.
Right.
And then they go and divulge it to a different source that they deem as trustworthy, but they didn't first verify, hey, is it okay if more people know your worst secrets?
Right.
I mean, It's a betrayal of massive proportions. But the thing is, usually the one betrayed don't even know they've been betrayed.
Right. I mean, you got to think that's what news is made from.
Yeah.
Information. Somebody sharing somebody's information that wasn't supposed to be told.
Literally.
Yeah, somebody's finding out in real time
Literally.
that the person they told that to is not trustworthy.
And what's
That's
so
crazy.
devastating is that the person that shares the information that was private, this is the key. They were so much more concerned about having a great conversation, more so than your protection. Your devastation wasn't a part of the conversation because they enjoyed the gossip. They enjoyed the conversation. Ooh, I got some hot news for you. But not even realizing you're spreading something that could ruin somebody. I mean, that's the key. Maybe not even physically or naturally, but it ruins their reputation and character.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I look at it like this too. We wonder why people suffer in silence. Because if I share what I'm going through, it's going to get out to everybody, and I didn't want that.
Literally.
So, I mean, I understand why it's that way, but it's not beneficial to the person because they need help.
Yeah.
But because they know it might leak out, they won't share.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, how do we find a way to find the person to share that with and feel like, you know, it won't get out? Like who? Who do we share that with?
As far as a trusted source, that's what you're speaking to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's tough. I mean, you listed some other ones. You said church. You said spousal.
Yep. It was spousal. It was church. It was significant other. It was parents abandoning a child, business, and family and friends.
Wow.
Yep.
Some of these things can mark your life, man,
Yep.
and especially like the parent one. That kind of betrayal is so intimate and so devastating because those are the folks that you inherited.
Yeah.
You didn't make a decision to enter into that relationship with them, and all of a sudden they're the ones doing you the most harm that you can do to a human being. This is why we talked about that term trauma.
Yeah.
You know, when you find out that someone's betrayed you, that is a traumatic experience. And I know we're going to talk about that a little bit more probably, but it's something that sets into your mind that people are not trustworthy.
Yes.
So now you can walk around like a turtle because you're like, the people who should have taken care of me and should have had my back didn't. So
Yes.
what do I treat other people like?
And you know what's so insane about what you just said is this. Your parents, you don't pick them. You're born into that relationship without a choice.
Right.
But you're born into that relationship not knowing the character of those that birth you.
Right.
But you must live down their character, watch this, in your most vulnerable seasons of life. Not only your most vulnerable seasons, your most influential, impactful, and impressionable seasons of life.
Yeah.
So not only am I born literally beholding unto these people, I'm the most weak, vulnerable I'll ever be, most impressionable I'll ever be.
Right.
And I was born into your character. So now the betrayal of that is, watch this, you hurt me when you knew I was defenseless.
Right. I think that will fall under what they call catastrophic.
Yes, that's a great word to use. Yes, yes.
Because it's
Catastrophic of monumental proportions.
Man, because
Yeah.
that very thing frames your very makeup going forward.
does.
Because it could cause different things in you. It could
Yeah.
cause self-esteem issues, like
Yeah.
a whole gamut of different things. You know, you'll grow up feeling like you ain't nothing, like you ain't worth nothing.
I agree with you. And you know, and to piggyback what you just said, I think it's devastating when you're born into and talking about this betrayal idea. I don't think we use these words, but I think many times when you're born into a family where the character is not there, what happens is the people that are living out that character, they don't see how devastating the character is.
Right.
They're the ones that are perpetuating the character, the behavior, the patterns, and the temperaments and personalities. And then their children live it down. But then usually watch this, the kids normally become the worst of the parent.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the parent, they may have some positives, but the positive things are overshadowed by the negative. So the kid literally lives with the worst part of the parents. And I think that's a form of betrayal, even in raising your family, is that I betrayed you by not giving you the best version of me perpetually and consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you were saying, we're talking about the forming years of an individual's life, right? Where they're most vulnerable, right? And biblically speaking, we see the principle where biblically it says, train up a child in the way that they should go, so that when they're old, they won't depart from it. So if I'm forming in you this horrible character, and I'm teaching you how to lie and deceive people, then guess what I'm going to create when I raise a child that way? The same type of person who struggles with not doing that now.
And they're creating the type of person they would discipline in real time.
Yeah.
They will literally discipline what they live in front of you.
Wow.
It's crazy because, your parents will tell you, don't do as I do, do as I say.
Yeah.
And that makes no sense.
sense.
No sense. It's like crazy. Like, don't do what I'm doing. Do what I'm telling you to do. Like,
Okay, not to sound like a hypocrite, right? But I'll tell you this. I recognize as a parent of 3, right, that sometimes that is a natural phenomenon. Here's why. Because you can know the struggles that you have in your life and the ways that you're marked by those struggles.
Yes.
You know what your struggles were. You know that your propensity to be lazy, for example, is not going to help you in the long run. So if you see laziness in your child, while you're working on your own character, working on your own skills and trying to be better than that because you know not to be, you see that in your child, you're like, I can't have you emulate this one because I know this is bad for us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So there's a degree of I'm evolving and I want you to be better at this evolution by the time you reach my age.
Yes. I think the betrayal with that child growing and learning is that the fact that the parent is hammering down on the negative characteristics that they see in the kid, but they do not hammer down on the negative characteristics in themselves that produce those things in their children. So the kid is having to live with, experience the character of the parent. They mimic what they see, and they only see one person be disciplined for it.
yeah, because like, I get what you're saying, but I can't still be that thing I'm disciplining you for. It's a different. If I was that younger, then I discipline it. But I can't be a liar and just now I'm beating my kid
It
down
happens
because
every
they
day.
lie.
That's the point.
I
though.
know.
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
What I'm saying.
I think that's the betrayal of the kid.
Right.
Is
It
that
is.
I'm disciplining you and for something I'm demonstrating to you.
On a constant basis.
There you go. So now when you rinse and repeat what I do, I'm telling you it's wrong. But the kid is then saying, but you're doing it.
I'm the grown up.
There you go.
Wow.
We have grown-ups has given themselves a get out of jail free card of character because my age allows me not to have integrity. My age allows me not to have character. My age allows me to live something in front of you that I will discipline in you, but not in me.
Yeah.
I get a pass because I'm older.
And that's tough. I mean, for me in those situations, and we could talk about what you guys do, but for me, like when I find myself where there's a disparity from what I know to do versus what I want my children to do, if I know there's a disconnect, what I'll do is I'll be transparent about it. For example, if I go off on my kids and I'm showing anger in a way that I just know is not cool,
Right.
I'm going to come back when it's all said and done, and I'm going to talk with them about Dad's character in that moment.
Right.
Dad made a mistake. Dad shouldn't have gone off like that. That is not the character of a man. That's not a character, the character of a man of God or who I'm trying to be and demonstrate to you. I'm going to let you know I'm sorry for that action, right? But the same is said for you. If it's your turn and you do that, now we got to deal with it because I'm telling you this is not the right behavior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I agree with that. I think that many kids, number one, never get that conversation. And I think that many of those that do, yes, what I did was wrong, but it is think of it this way. The way in which the parent disciplined themselves is so much more merciful than how they discipline the child for the same infraction.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, it don't add up.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, I think one of the greatest betrayals in that context is that I am going to give you the worst of me and expect the best out of you. I think it's betraying a person to deposit the worst and expect them not to rinse and repeat what you've given, but to become what you have not given. And we're telling younger people, mind you, every younger person now is an older person. So we get into these marriages and relationships, and you're dating a grown man, a grown woman, but they literally only know how to make deposits of a negative nature. So I only know how to acknowledge the negative thing because I've never been taught how to bolster the positive thing.
Right. Yeah.
So every conversation that is to that child is as a negative connotation to it because that's what was done to me.
Right.
Right.
But the problem is, did we not see what we become?
And in the negative reinforcement, what it does to you is it causes you to live in obligation to the right thing without the positive reinforcement or reward for doing it. So you're always thinking, I'm doing the right thing, but for what purpose, right? There's nothing to be gained by doing good, and there's nothing in that's good about that, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're training a dog, you're going to give them a treat when they do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
Because that positive reinforcement says doing the right thing comes with a reward.
Yes.
But if you're a parent that's driving and instilling and only want to deal with the negative in someone, then what that does is it does the reverse. So then when they rebel on you, it's because doing good does no benefit to me anyway. So I just do what I want to do because there's nothing. There's
no reason to.
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching this video by Little Duval, and he's a social media influencer, and he says something that I thought was so funny, but it was so true. People were they were like, "Oh, Little Duval be cheating on his girl and this and this and that," and he made a comment. Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it is so true. It is going to get it. You'll see why.
Right.
He said, one lady was like, I don't understand how Little Duval can be out here and he can have all these women and, he never gets in trouble or get canceled. You know what he said? He says, I don't get canceled because they know what they get when they meet me. His exact words was, I tell them up front I'm a hoe. He goes, so when you experience me being hoish, ain't nobody shocked.
Right.
And so I say that to say this. Betrayal, kind of we're talking about, nobody reinforces the positive, they expect it. See, betrayal is that I see positives, but they were lies.
Right.
See, the betrayal comes in is to where now I'm showing you everything that you want to see. I'm behaving in a way in which you want to see. I'm saying words you want to see. But what I'm showing you is the opposite. So I'm going to give you guys this word that I looked up. And I'll give you the thought. And then we'll break it down. And I think it'll kind of really, really begin to unravel this idea of betrayal. So let's really go a little bit deeper. Relationally speaking, we don't really meet the real person.
Right.
I believe that we meet their demeanor. We meet a personality. We meet a temperament. We meet, the term I want to use is we meet their presuppositions. And I'm going to bring up on screen really quick the definition of presupposition. And I think it's going to give the audience and us something really, really interesting to discuss. Presupposition is defined as something that you assume to be true, especially something which you must assume is true in order to continue with what you are saying or thinking. So a presupposition is defined as something that you assume to be true, especially something that you must assume is true in order to continue what you are saying and thinking about that person. So in essence, to make it come around, is I believe we meet people's demeanors, personalities, temperaments. I believe that we meet their presuppositions. We meet the assumptions we made from what they showed us. And I believe we do that. That way we can live with people more peaceably.
When you say the person we met was the best representation of who they think they are, because they're putting on this facade like they have it all together, all these different things, right? So you're meeting
The representative,
the stage actor, not the real person once they take off the makeup and all the lights is off. So you're meeting this person that's telling you things. So I think really you can only assume what you see
Yes.
and what they're telling you, because I'm not going into it like you're a liar. You know what I'm saying? But that's why the betrayal, like you said,
There you
that
go.
is so bad, because trust was broken.
The presupposition is
I mean, simple as that.
the presupposition is I'm assuming that what you told me will always align.
Right.
watch this. I'm assuming I shouldn't be afraid. I'm assuming I shouldn't be nervous. I'm assuming that you're not going to devastate me. I'm assuming that what you showed me the first time was 100%, watch this, was 100% authentic. Why? What did I ever do to you when we just met to cause you to lie from the outset? Think about that for a second. My presupposition is built based on what you showed me. So the question becomes, what did I ever do to you? We just met.
Right.
What did I ever do to you to show me someone that's not real when I don't even know you?
You know what? I don't think it's what you did to me. It's what I'm not going to say, because if I say the truth, you don't want that.
That's what I'm saying, though. But what did I do to deserve your lie?
Well, the guy will tell you looked good.
Right. It's cashing in on something you desire for things that you don't deserve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say that again.
It's cashing in on things you desire for things you don't deserve.
Yeah.
That your character, and it's said another way, this way. You never want to be in a position where you get into a situation where your character can't keep you.
I was just thinking that.
I'm forgetting the
where your
actual,
gift takes you, where your character can't keep
exactly.
you.
So now I'm trying to buy something I can't afford, which is your trust.
Yes.
I shouldn't have it. So what I'm doing is, you mentioned the words representative, right? You're sending an ambassador. It's the same thing that happens in an interview where you sit down and you give the best representation of yourself.
Yes.
Knowing that, and I've seen this in many jobs where it's customer service oriented with all these people. Are you a people person? Knowing good and well you hate people, you hate their life, their soul.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
But you took a customer service job and you were willing to lie about it, and then we get called about how bad you are at that job.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know. I'm just struggling. No, you lied about your qualifications and what you like to do. So the same thing happens in relationships. Can you be trusted? The answer is no, but I'm going to say yes. Everything I do behind that proves that yes is not the true answer.
Yeah, see, I think that we're onto something in this regard. When we ask, the presupposition is, I'm assuming that what you showed me is real. Now, the question becomes, why am I showing you what I'm showing you? Because this is the thing. Many times when you meet somebody, you want to impress them. You want them to like you. But the problem is when you put your best foot forward while hiding your worst foot,
Right.
you're not showing them yourself at all. So they're experiencing the assumptions that were created based upon the evidence you gave them. So I kind of go back to the same question of why are we okay with allowing someone to perceive in us what we know we are not consistently?
I think it's self-preservation, right? Because our knack for survival says, despite what I'm going through, it's fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
I need this job. So I'm going to say anything I can to keep it. If I'm this type of person, there's chances are I have character issues, but I also have low self-esteem as well. I'm aware of all the problems inside of me. I've probably been abandoned. Whatever the case is, whatever the setup of my life is, I realize that I have to lie to survive.
Yeah.
So every relationship is thriving because of the lie that it's laying on, right? So now I'm laying out these lies, but hopefully they stick long enough. And a lot of times people are trying to buy time to get where they want to go to so that those words can be true. They're just not true today.
But the problem is the person is not signing up for your can be. They're signing up for your is.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you got to think about the saying, by any means necessary. So my thing is, you've been taught to go get it by any means necessary. No one's teaching anybody to, like, there's a line you shouldn't pass or you shouldn't go beyond to get it. But what do I have to do to get her? What do I have to say? Who do I have to be? Who do I have to become? So let me sit down and listen, and I'm going to become that rather than being the authentic me and letting her make a decision on if she likes that person.
So in essence, it's almost like I'm afraid that if a person saw the authentic me, they won't choose me. So I'm willing to betray your trust on day one. Watch this. I'd rather have the impact of you being damaged through betrayal than you knowing who I am and exposing me for who I am.
Most definitely, because you got to think about it. In a sense, like, we know what's wrong with ourselves. We know what shortcomings we have, right? So let's say you know you have an anger issue. So, hey, how you doing? You know, talking. Yeah, I struggle with anger. You know, I fly off the handle sometimes. How do you think a woman responds to that, or even a guy in that conversation?
Probably not. Probably not gonna go well.
Well, it depends though, because I would rather a person just tell me, hey, listen, based upon my history, this is how I typically respond to things. I'm trying to work through those, but I just want to give you a heads up. That way, if I ever respond adversely, I want you to know I'm actively trying to become a better person. See,
That's great.
No. That's what I'm saying. I don't think people go into it saying that truth has value.
Okay.
Because they go to and saying truth has consequence.
Right.
They don't go to and says truth has consequence and value. Because now I can weigh the scale. Because if I only say truth has consequence, I'm not telling the truth.
Right.
But if I say truth has consequence and value.
Okay, but you got to think, we're talking about dating and relationships, right? We all have these lists, like what I will accept and not accept.
Yeah.
If I know your list and some of the things I got on there, I'm going to have to keep that.
But again, though,
you get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Yes, I do. And that's what I'm saying. I think
so that's a consequence. I'm going to lose you.
The choice to be chosen is the betrayal in that context.
It is.
The fact that I let you choose me, knowing that your presuppositions are false, I betrayed you from day one. Yeah. This is the thing. I chose to show you somebody that I know was not true because I knew that's what it took to get you.
Right.
But I knew I can't live up to what I showed you. So I'm okay as long as I'm happy to leave you in a permanent state of deficit. And then you find out now on top of, watch this, you feel in the relationship stuff ain't right.
Right.
You just can't put your finger on it.
Right.
But then when the betrayal comes, it begins to confirm everything I know I didn't have the whole time. When you could have from the outset said, this is who I am. I'm underdeveloped. I'm not where I want to be yet. And watch this, I would never want to betray your trust to allow you to have a presupposition that I'm somebody that I'm not. But I will tell you, I am willing to work hard to become what you need.
You know what?
Value consequence.
Yeah.
Wow. And here's
We out there.
man. And the cold thing about what you just said about the loyalty and the betrayal of trust on how you get that person to receive you. Here's the thing. A lot of times people are living that lie. They got the mask on. And what they're doing is they're biding time for your loyalty to where now by the time we get to the point where I'm unmasked, you're so tied into the relationship, it's hard for you to say goodbye to me. So I'm banking on your loyalty, not mine.
Oh.
At that point, you are you are absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Dang.
Oh
That
my. because what you're saying is that I'm going to wait it out to where your love causes you to stay because my person can't.
Right.
And I'm okay with you only getting a portion of what you thought you were getting. So you're living at a deficit.
Right.
While I'm completely happy. Because I figure if it take 3 years to become it, I mean, you suffered. But even if I don't become it, you ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that betrayal of the idea of oneself. And that's why I said I think it's consequence and value. There has to be a narrative change at some point that says truth is so valuable that whatever consequence comes, I welcome it.
Right.
Because I hold the truth at such value. And I think that many times we do not tell the truth because we think the truth might make us be alone. And we're so afraid to be alone, we're willing to injure others to have companionship.
Yeah, because people want to pretend like they perfect.
Yeah.
You want to have these long list of things you don't want and this and that and the other, and knowing you ain't perfect in every area. So you want to put that on the other person too. So as soon as he break his or hers, oh, see, I knew, like, you're not perfect either. You didn't share all you didn't tell the whole truth in the beginning either.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Both sides don't tell the whole truth.
Yeah. In most cases.
In most cases. So now who's mad at who?
Well, it depends on who slips up first. The first person that slips up out of the acting character, the opposing person's betrayed first in their eyes.
Right.
Because the presupposition, I'm happy as long as you are acting out the role. I don't even know I'm betrayed until I find out we're at rehearsal.
Right.
Until I find out you have a costume on.
Right.
I believe that's why it hurts so bad. Yeah. I believe we're actually live. But you know, the whole time the camera ain't rolling.
Yeah.
Right.
And wait, I'm living like we live. That's effort and time and energy and finance and destiny and purpose and working and blood, sweat, and tears. And you know the whole time you on rehearsal.
You on rehearsal.
But you let me give all of this energy knowing you only giving 50%.
But see, that's where it falls into the catastrophic betrayal. Because you went, I mean, like you said, the other person has exerted all this energy, love, effort, and you've been faking the whole time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me add this. I'm see what y'all think about this. This is heavy. When the person is acting, you know, they're in rehearsal, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The other person they think they live.
Right.
They out here. Pop, 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 pop. I mean, they shooting at all cylinders.
All the way in.
Let me tell you what's gangster though. The person that's live, they don't know it's a play. They don't know it's practice. They think they are full blown red light recorder zone.
Right.
The other person is receiving all of that live energy, passion, work, diligence. They don't give you live back, they give you back practice. Because they watch because you're so busy being live. Because you know your audience is them and you want them to experience you as the realest thing you could be. They know you're overlooking the fact that they are not giving you the lines back like they should.
Okay. So the consequence of acting for a long period of time, like you're talking about, is that the genuineness of being real is foreign now.
Yes.
So I don't even know how to be real.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if any of my my responses, my emotions are true because I'm so good at faking the emotion of loving you.
Right.
I'm faking the intimacy. I'm faking how I feel on the inside. And so genuine people are hard to be around, right? So people like that hate people, but they just, I guess I would imagine that they struggle with trying to love people because it's been fake so long. What does real even look like?
And you're onto it because if I am pretending, and if I've been pretending and pretending has given me the results as though it's real,
Right.
I never have to expose myself.
No.
And that's where the betrayal hit because I've been acting, y'all ain't caught me yet, and I'm getting the applause like I'm live.
Right.
So if I'm out here acting and that's what's so devastating about the Christian faith. Because you love expecting nothing in return. So literally, if a person is scandalous enough, they could literally, you're not loving the way Christ loved the church.
Wow.
You're not being selfless enough, knowing they're pretending. So wait though, but then once I find out you acting, watch this. I'm gonna minimize, justify, rationalize, and over spiritualize. God said you must forgive me. Wow. How would Jesus respond?
Wow. Yeah.
But wait though, you've been Judas.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Mind you, Judas was kissing on Jesus. And he still washed Judas' feet. So now your spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend come back and say, well, Jesus loved Judas too. Well, I'm not Jesus. I'm not him.
That's
Right?
That's a
They
hard
got
one.
devastating.
Because especially if they know how, like you know, your faith is just, and they're using that against you.
I'm going to weaponize your love for God.
Wow. Hey, that's a rough one, bro.
I'm going to weaponize the fact that I know you will forgive me. I'm going to weaponize that I know you don't want to disappoint your God. So I know I at least got one bullet in the barrel. So if I pull that one, I know I got at least one grace period.
Right. Dang.
That's tough.
That's betrayal, dog.
At the highest level. But imagine the brothers and sisters going through something like that.
They go through it because we have designed a culture and life in church, even in the secular world, that the truth is a consequence versus a thing to be valued.
Right.
And I think, and this is the thing that you mentioned earlier, it's because we only respond to the negative thing. When we see the truth, nobody says, hey, that truth sucks, but I respect you for telling me the truth. See,
Right.
now I gave you value on that truth. The truth might suck, but if you give me that truth and I'm like, oh, but you know what? You kept it 100 though.
Yeah. You can't do nothing but respect it.
Hopefully.
Yeah. For the most part, you got to think, I'm just speaking even for myself.
Yeah.
If you kept it 100 with
Yeah.
me not liking it, depending on what happened,
Yeah.
but you told me.
Yes.
So what am I really mad about?
Yeah. What you just spoke on just a moment ago is what this is all sitting on. And I believe the culture that we live in now, it multiplies and exacerbates the problem even more. We live in a Snapchat with filters, Instagram with filter society, right? Where social media tells me to put my very best on at all times. What am I going to post? I'm going to post that I'm in Jamaica and I'm eating this fire meal and my female's fire.
And you broke.
I look good. Yeah, I'm showing you my best outfits and whatever. Everything is for a show.
It is.
And then we're asking people to be genuine when their whole life and everything around us tell us, put a filter on
It's
it.
filtered.
Yeah, it's not real.
That is stupid.
Posting all these pictures about your marriage, like, oh, we love each other so much, and then you look up and see somebody's page, the whole person gone.
Literally. They erased them.
But I saw the wedding, I saw the trips, I saw I thought it was so loving. What happened?
Because we've taught people you don't have to grow, change, and mature. Just put a filter on. Our culture has taught people there's value in filters. You can look good knowing that you have acne everywhere, you got pimples everywhere because your skin is sick. See, people don't understand that literally pimples and all that is actually your body telling you that your skin's an organ. Your body's telling you you're doing something wrong. So versus having discipline to change and then our skin responds to our change, we put a filter on. That way my character never got to change. We are living in a class of people that believes in filters over character changes.
Yeah,
Ugh.
all day.
It's devastating. And most people have married a filter. I'm telling you. And we won't even know if we married a filter until that filter has a glitch.
Yeah, when you at the house with it.
Yeah, until that software update is needed. Yeah. And you realize, wait a minute, like, ooh.
The angle hit. The certain angle that it don't work
You
at.
move the wrong way, and then the filter, whoa, you got a glimpse.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. I saw this video of this man getting a hairpiece put on.
Right.
It looked dope when they got done.
Brother.
Yeah, I've seen
Brother,
it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You would never know he had a
yeah.
hairpiece put on. Do you know inside? Now, mind you, I went into the comments because the video, they lined that brother up so dope, dog.
Right.
Okay, let me keep it 100.
All right.
Don't judge me.
No, don't judge me.
No judgment.
That mug looks so sweet. I was like, I'd rock that. That's how dope it looked. I'm not saying I'm going to get one.
Right.
My mind said, wow.
Got hair.
But watch what happened in the comments, though. Women, bet not. No way. Too far.
Wow.
Do you know how many billions
Yeah.
weave make for women?
I mean,
Wigs, extensions, lace fronts. I mean,
eyelashes.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, everything is fake. But then when a brother wanted to get his hair on, all of a sudden he went too far. But wait a minute. If I marry you, but my thing is this. If I marry you and I ask you, what on your body can't come off? Will you have hair? Will you have eyelashes? Will you have fingernails?
Right.
Will you have breasts? Will you have a booty? Will you have a stomach? I don't know what's real.
Right.
But the standard is she can do it, but he cannot. And the reason I'm saying that is because I think that's why many times betrayal comes into play. Why is that? Men are expected to accept and call something that's artificial beautiful. But women are not charged with that same assignment. It's out there.
It's out there. What it's sitting on is pride.
Yes.
It's sitting on pride because, look, this is the thing. I require you to be at a level I'm not at.
I'm not at.
I'm not real. I got a bunch of fake, but you better be real, though.
You better be. And you better be in shape. And you better look good. And you better smell good, too. But if you get something fake, now you know you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Wow, that's deep.
And
I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know they would be against.
You got to go in them comments,
Yeah,
bro.
I didn't know they would be
You got to
against
go in.
that.
I didn't know either until I went to them comments.
Right.
What I'm saying is because we have taught women that you can have a filter and men cannot. That's why I believe that when it comes to betrayal, men get so angry. I'm not saying women don't. I'm saying I think the reason that men go to the level they go to many times is because they've been told their whole life you better be authentic. You better not never be fake. You better not never miss the mark. You better not never do anything that can be deemed as bad. But then we give ladies so many more passes. Oh, she cheated because of what he did. Oh, she stepped out because he was treating her bad. But if it's a brother, oh, he a dog. I told you in the beginning, he always been trash.
Right.
But wait a minute. If the dude is trash, she trash.
Right.
And I think when it comes to the betrayal of it, I don't think men know how to walk it down because, be honest, nobody cares to listen to him walk it down.
No, because they just tell you to man up.
Oh, man, forget her. Get over it. But yet he's devastated.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey,
so-
look, but like saying that, I mean, I was looking at it, you know, when we talked about the topic, and I was like, let me just look at it deeper. And it was talking about how the effects of catastrophic betrayal, and I think that's what happens. It's a catastrophic betrayal.
Yeah.
So it said betrayal are most relevant for anxiety disorders and OCD and PTSD in particular.
Oh, wow.
I said PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
We
So-
don't think about it that deep though.
Not at all. Because it's post, meaning after. Traumatic, that's the experience itself, the devastation you're meaning. Stress, disorder, something that is not in order. So literally the betrayal gives up, after the betrayal happens, it puts that person in a post-extreme traumatic state that has happened, and now it made their life and mind be of a disorder in state.
And here's how
Mental contamination.
And you could see this is the vampire nature of trauma, though.
God.
Because here, when I have a post-traumatic stress response to betrayal, what is my tendency? It's to clam up and to shell up. You look at a turtle. What does he do? He goes into his shell. He goes because a shell has an outer exterior that is hardened.
Yeah.
So here's what happens. I become numb. I'm a vampire that's not alive anymore. I'm not responding in truth. I'm putting on an exterior to protect myself. So I'm going out into the world caved up, sheltered up, and now I'm not even available.
Yeah.
So I enter into a relationship where I'm this way, and I know that this is the better thing to do. I must protect myself, and I'll probably fake what I'm doing because I don't even want you to know I'm in a shell.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying is important because you go into the shell, and let's break it down. It's post. You went into the shell post. You went into the shell because something happened that was traumatic.
Right.
The traumatic caused stress that caused a disorder, disarray. It made your life lose order.
Yeah.
And we never tell a man, you know what, you're angry because there was some type of thing that happened in your life that was traumatic. It caused you stress and it made your life fall out of order.
Yeah.
So you know what? You're not really angry. Your anger is a response, watch this, to you having an emotional response to your life being taken out of order because of the stress and the traumatic.
Yeah.
Good God.
But
That is heavy, dog.
hey, because look,
That is heavy.
but look, you got to think too.
Good God.
Mostly every person
Good Lord.
before they got to you, experienced a betrayal.
Some type of traumatic stress.
Has experienced it. So really, how am I expecting them to be authentic?
Or I expect you to act like you wounded.
They not. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Who wants a wounded person?
Everyone does, because that's all we gonna get.
I know, but I'm saying when we're thinking about it.
That's what I'm saying.
What you're being-
I believe we're thinking wrong.
I
think,
agree.
I think we must be taught, no matter who you marry, everyone has experienced some type of traumatic stress and their life was put in disarray and disorder. Your job and my job is to find out what type of disorder exists. What was the trigger that caused that traumatic experience? How did that stress impact them? And watch this. How did the other person or people make their life become not organized? And how did they contribute to keep it being unorganized?
It's a pyramid. It's a stack of all these things that you don't even recognize. And then we're talking about PTSD. You got to look at what the responses and what the stages of recovery are for PTSD. A lot of people have been betrayed, like we talked about.
Yeah.
But how many people are actively addressing it as such?
Yeah.
Right?
Most
You
are
don't
not.
even realize, okay, I've been betrayed. This is traumatic. I can have PTSD from it. Most people don't know that. So
Yes.
they don't even know that there's stages to the recovery.
Yes.
I don't even deal with it as a recovery thing.
Yeah.
I just try to move on. We always talk
Yes.
about it in society now, I got to move on from it.
Yeah.
But do you know that you need to act and treat this betrayal like you would PTSD?
Literally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's like, I'm just remembering, dude, I was like 15. Dating this girl, man. I'm like, man, like everybody wanted her. I should have let everybody have. Okay.
2020.
Hindsight.
But I'm saying, like, I like that girl so much, man. Like, it was crazy. And when I found out she betrayed my trust, bruh, what did I do? Heart.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody ever getting that again. That's what I said to myself. You talking about a
That's the
15-year-old,
vow.
ain't nobody ever getting that again. I don't ever want to feel that pain. Ever.
You'll never let someone hurt you that way again.
Right.
Never.
Yep. And that's the inward vow, we call it, that you made at 15 years old. And every woman that met you from that day met your presupposition. They never met you because you weren't even available.
No.
Ugh, but you lied to yourself that person's acceptable for a relationship. In that state of brokenness, I'm acceptable. I am suitable for a relationship in this condition, broken.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be alone. Again, you would rather have companionship and be accepted than change, than do the work. And that's what I said. So you're really meeting a person that the safest assumption is that every person you meet has a traumatic stress disorder of life in some way. Yeah. And I'm not marrying you until I find out what your disorder looks like.
Right.
And then we can discuss what type of work have you done on the disarray disorder.
Right.
And then determine, do we want to say yes to that?
And this is why you don't marry potential.
Nope.
Women do this all the time. They see the framework of a man. They see the outward exterior that looks like, okay, I can work with it. Like men are a jar of clay, right? Or a pot of a clump of clay. So what they want to do is they want to use their love to enforce and to shape this man into who they want him to be. Yeah. And what they do, they never really realize that doesn't work. You marry the proven thing, rather than the thing that can be shaped into what you think you can make him into.
Absolutely.
Because chances are somebody else tried to as well.
And they failed. The thing is, you don't marry potential, you marry the patterns.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing is that when people see a man, oh man, he could be, but he's not.
No.
She could be, but she's not. I'm not marrying what you can be. I'm marrying what you are. And there's no guarantee you will ever change what you are. So I'm not marrying the potential. I'm marrying your proven patterns. So when I meet you, I'm saying, what are your patterns? And I'm marrying that.
Right.
Because this is the thing. If you haven't changed your patterns yet, why are you going to change them now?
Right. It was, and this was something you had said, this was a while back. And when you said it, I was like, dang. You was like, when you marry somebody, you got to say to yourself, can you live with them at this state if they never change?
They never change.
Because that's what you're marrying right now.
Yep.
And when he said that, I was single. I wasn't married or nothing. But that made, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's a deep one. But who said something like that to somebody before, though?
Yeah.
They don't. Oh, just get married. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
But
No, you won't.
Now I'm viewing her when I meet her like, okay, you get all these attributes. I think everybody should do it, male or female.
Yeah.
Okay, if he or she never changes
Never change.
from where they are right now, am I okay?
Yep. And that's what you have to ask. And let me add this. I think some people have not been betrayed. I think some people just didn't want to do their homework. I think they wanted to be with somebody so bad. You know what? I should probably ask questions, but I'm not going to. You know what? I should probably investigate, but I'm not going to. Because what if I dig deeper and find something I don't like? Now I'm single even longer.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes we do ourselves a really bad disservice by saying, I'm not going to spend the time necessary to find out if you're acting or if you're true. I'm not going to spend the time necessary to find out, do you have a history that proves that your character can be like an assassin to me?
Right.
I think the history of a person's how they move, how they act, how they treat people, how they dealt with people is a precursor. And many times we don't believe it can happen to us.
Yeah.
So we're not going to add certain stuff. That was him. No. That was the character.
Right.
That was the character. And I hate when people say, oh, I cheated because they. No. Ain't no they.
Right. It's you.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's you. It's whatever I did, I have to own that. But it's the key. We don't teach society, you must own yours. And what a person does is a reflection of their character. What you do is a reflection of your character. When a person does something to you, that's them. Your response is you.
Right.
So that removes this whole idea of she cheated, so I cheated. He cheated, so I... No. They might have cheated. That was their character.
Right.
You cheating in response was your character.
Right.
It wasn't caused by their cheating because no one can make us do anything.
You chose to.
There you go. But what we do is we soften the blow by saying, oh, she wasn't present. She wasn't loving me. She wasn't giving me blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That way, when I do betray you, I took the bullets out your gun.
I had a reason to do it.
There you go.
When there's-
And the reason was my lack of character, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to take the bullets of your past and say, I betrayed you because you betrayed me.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
but see, we forget that love never fails, right? And this is actually a two-way conversation, really, because in the interim stage of when you're dating, right, you're trying to figure out what you want.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's something that's shown in the dating phase that says, this is dangerous.
Yes.
But see, we think, okay, well, love never fails.
Right.
So I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
But you got to recognize that if I'm trying to identify whether this person is eligible for marriage,
Yeah.
I got to see love from you too.
Yeah.
I need to see your love not failing.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally.
See?
Yep.
So I got to look for evidence that you even have love. A lot of times we put the ownership of the love only on us. But when it comes down to the dating phase, we need to be looking for it from the other partner.
Yeah.
Because if we're not getting it in this stage, we will never get it.
Ever.
Man.
But
Ever.
we want to internalize and own all of it. But then that's always going to be on you in the relationship for the entire relationship.
Yeah. Well, you think too about what he's saying, love never fails, right? So I knew people that would literally was cheating with someone, and then the person broke up with the other person, now they with them. And I said to myself, what do you think is going to happen to you?
Yeah.
Y'all met in cheating.
They better get saved.
You're done.
And then you still don't know. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, you met cheating.
Yeah.
But my thing is this, it ain't that love never fails. Number one, you didn't know what love was.
Yeah.
Because love never does fail.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing about love is it says it never causes what? Harm.
Never does.
Hurt to someone else. So if I love you, I'm not intentionally going to cause harm to you.
And also what it shows is that we operate from a position of underdeveloped love. Because to develop that love, it requires too much work.
Yeah.
I'm not going to love you at the level to where love can't fail, because in order to do that, I must die to myself at a level to where love grows, but that's too painful. That love that never fails is a love that's been developed through the fire and through the crucible of pain. And I'm not going to give that to you because chances are you're going to give it back to me.
Right.
So why am I going to live down this suffering of loving you like Christ of the church when I know you're going to love me like Judas?
Right. And that's what I was talking about, how that's what happened to most people when they loved people to that level and it was betrayed. You ain't gonna never see that again.
Shell.
And it's what you mentioned when you were 15. Even though you're 15, you gave at the level you understood love. And
Right.
you gave it everything. And then once that was crushed, you immediately said, I can never trust someone at that level. See, when it comes to snakes, baby snakes that are venomous are the most dangerous
Right.
because they don't know how to control the amount of venom they give out.
Right.
The adult snake is dangerous, but the baby is the worst. They bite and just let it all out. That's how love is given prematurely. You give love without restraint, without boundaries, and you give love because your love is so naive, you don't believe it could be betrayed.
Right.
And then once your love is betrayed, the purity of your love, in most cases, is never the same.
No.
I will love you, but I will never, like you said, be in the position I was in where my love was so vulnerable, you devastated me. See, that's why I believe, and honestly, I believe that a lot of people can get over bad acts that were done to them.
Yeah.
I believe the harder thing and one of the greatest struggles for a man when it comes to infidelity, cheating, etc., or even in those categories of betrayal, I think the act is horrible, but I think what really, really gnaws is the scheming, the planning, the manipulation behind the betrayal that causes the person to question, is reconciliation even possible? The act itself is one thing, but then once you find out what the act is, then the man says there was a scheme behind this, there was planning, there was plotting. And I think most men struggle with the intentionality of how the betrayal came to be.
Right.
Wait a minute, so A, then B, then C, then D, and then you make it to Y and you almost dead.
Right.
You're like, wait a minute, you've been plotting. You've been plotting my assassination and you never gave me any hint, no warning that I was facing my demise. And this is the key, versus warning me. Put it this way. The way in which the betrayal in that context works is that you will take a bullet for that person,
Right.
only to find out they're the person behind the gun.
Right. Yeah.
That's tough.
You living that hard. That was you 15. I'm loving you this hard, only to find out the bullet that's coming is coming from the person's hands that I love. And that's why I think even beyond the action, it is you schemed, you plotted my assassination. More importantly, you assassinated my love that I defended for you. I fought for you.
Right.
I developed for you. Well, I exclusively kept holy and pure and righteous and just for you. And then you squander, you trample underfoot this level of loyalty and love, and then look me in my eye and say, love me again.
Yep.
That's why it's so painful.
See, we go to
Love me again.
We go to war. So whenever you have engaged in cheating, especially retaliatory cheating, right? Because I think there's different levels of cheating.
Absolutely.
I think there's different themes of cheating and different. So in other words, cheating is not created equal, right?
Yeah.
There's different categories. You can have a one-off, just got too drunk one night, whatever,
Yeah.
and had. I'm not saying it's good,
It
but
hits
I'm saying
different.
it hits different because you were out of control in a situation. But it's different when you find out that you had a knife in your back and someone's acting in response to your relationship and what you've done in the relationship, and they're retaliating that, and they're going to war against you while sleeping in bed with you, and there's no indication that I'm your enemy.
Right.
There's none.
Oh, wait.
Right? None. You've become a spy. You've become everything. So you're doing reconnaissance to make sure I don't know certain things.
Yeah.
You're moving in such a way that I can't even detect that you're my enemy.
It's intentional friendly fire.
Right.
And friendly fire is a cold piece.
No, not just friendly fire, because many times that's on mistake.
Yeah.
This is I went out onto the field knowing I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
I had to make it look like it was friendly fire.
Right. Because friendly fire is normally the person got in the way.
There you go.
Accident.
It's accident.
Yeah.
What you're saying, betrayal is I know where my bullets are going. I know if I shoot in this direction, I'm going to miss you. So I move to the left 3 paces where I know I'm going to hit you,
Right.
but you perceive it as an accident. So watch this. I'm going to be cheating and doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm going to still come home and make the best love to you ever. Friendly fire. I'm going to still cook you dinner. Friendly fire. I'm going to still call you daddy. Friendly fire. I'm going to tell you how much I love you, appreciate you, adore you, how amazing of a man you are. And the whole time I'm telling you this, my words, my actions, my sex, everything is me killing you one lie and deception at a time. Why? I am covering all of my tracks where you never see any glitches in my filter.
Man.
So you would keep paying your subscription to me every single day. That's your loyalty though. Your subscription is your loyalty, your truth, your body, watch your exclusivity. I am going to pretend with the filter to make sure you never leave while I've already been gone.
Well.
I can't. I can't.
That takes, and it heightens the level of betrayal to a. This is why things like that end in death.
Many times.
Many times, a lot of people
Snapped. Remember that show?
They snap
Yep.
because you intentionally.
Yes.
You were killing me.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm gonna take it to the level you didn't reach, which I'm gonna respond to you in like kind because you actually did kill me. You just did so emotionally. Right. So now it's a physical death that's gonna have to counterbalance this whole situation. And think about the character involved and the people who are engaged in these things. With eyes wide open, they're plotting and planning against you, because there are a lot of times where these type of affairs are happening where both people are aware that there's somebody at home
Yeah.
that does not know what's going on. And think about the hate in the heart of those people that they have towards that individual to say what we're doing will devastate them, but we don't care because we love the pleasure of this. And it's even more enticing because of it.
Yeah. And it's the thing though. The reason I want you married is because I know I don't gotta own you. I can just borrow what's yours.
Right.
So I can go live in my life. You will find that many of these people, they will come take yours and go live their life because they didn't want yours. They wanted the thrill. They wanted the moment.
Right.
I don't want the commitment. No, you keep the commitment.
Yep.
I'll take her body. Then I'm going to give her back to you. Honor your commitment, bro.
Right.
But I got you. Look. Make sure you stay faithful because I don't want her to be single.
Right.
Because I don't want to wife her up.
Right.
I just want the benefit. And I think you mentioned a minute ago about the emotional assassination of that love. I don't think people fully understand how devastating emotional assassins are. Some people are psychological, emotional assassins. And what they do is they are faithful in the presence of you.
Yeah.
But what they will do is they will cut you and blame you, shoot you and blame you. They will let you bleed out and then ask you, how long will you be sitting here screaming from the wound that I injected upon you? That's why I believe they rush to reconciliation. Watch this. I cut you, you're bleeding. I'm so angry. Why? Not you that got hurt, the offender. I'm so angry because when I cut you, you bled. I'm mad you bleeding. Want to know why? I can't live my life the way I want while you bleeding because you don't act the same. Hurry up and heal. Hurry and reconcile. Why? So that my life can go back to being normal when I'm the one that ripped your guts out.
Right.
That is betrayal of the highest level emotionally, psychologically, because I'm telling you, you are not worthy of healing.
Right.
You're not worthy of me taking a step back, assessing the damage I caused, and to say, if I won't honor you before the cheating, at least have the balls to honor me after you do it.
Right. It's interesting what you said
That's
too
crazy.
about the bleeding, right? Because they're mad that you're bleeding.
I'm mad.
I'm mad that you're bleeding.
Angry.
Here's why I'm mad though. That you're alive and I'm dead on the inside. Bleeding means that you're still alive.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm doing this because I'm already dead.
Already.
I don't feel nothing when I do all this. You're bleeding. I want to kill you. You should be dead already, like me.
I need you to be like me.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel too much.
Yeah.
I was out here doing me. watch this. You're projecting your stuff on me without counting the costs. See, this is what happens. See, like, and this is relationally, and if you're out there and in a relationship, it don't even matter, or not. When a person is bleeding on you, don't judge them for bleeding. First, investigate what caused the wound.
Right.
Sometimes we go into relationships and we see personality and temperaments and all these things, and we're judging the bleeding, but we don't know the PTSD.
Right.
We don't know what wars they came out of. See, that's the thing. I know people. I know a guy right now. He's a pastor. He was a sniper in the Army.
Yeah.
Has night terrors to this day.
Right.
Would grab the gun in the sleep, thinking somebody attacking him. The wife bewildered. You know how scary that would be.
Right.
Oh, wow.
But this is the thing. He wasn't always that way.
No.
So if I judge you based upon the responses of your PTSD
Right.
and not say, what war did you come from?
Right.
Then I will always blame you for your night terrors.
Right.
As if you chose them. See, people act like you choose, like you chose to be betrayed.
Right.
Like, I didn't choose you cheating on me. I was left with the baggage. I was left with the emotional breakdown. And not even just the cheating. Many times the betrayal is the false hope of promise.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta go to the cheating level. Let's go to the level of, I'm gonna date you and not marry you.
Man.
I'm gonna do multiple engagements. I'm going to lead you on and make you think it's something that's not, only for you to find out you wasted your time, energy, and in most cases, your body. And I knew I was never going to purchase what I was using. And I'm gonna put you back on the shelf, used, knowing that I lowered your value.
But see, this the cold part to that though.
We're out there.
Yeah,
Bars.
But look, this is the cold part to that.
Wow.
Like you said, lowering, that's a form of the betrayal. That is a byproduct of being betrayed. Low self-esteem.
Yep.
So if I'm coming in, like you said, I'm that person leading you on, keeping you around.
Yep.
I'm steady compounding the trauma you've went through the last betrayal. Because I know you ain't going nowhere.
Yep, you ain't going nowhere.
So I could just date you for 6 months, then I disappear.
Yep.
Come back 2 months like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry. I was tripping. Girl, you know I love you. You let me back. I date you for another 9 months. I'm good. Dip out again. I know, like, who allows someone to break up with them 4 times and don't give you like a legitimate reason?
I believe that those that do that are those that don't fully understand their value.
Yes.
I believe that we have undervalued people so much, women so much, relationships so much, that we are teaching people this is what you should do. And the reason I say that is because when it comes to a person experiencing betrayal, trust comes by foot but leaves by horse. So it takes so long to build that trust up. And when you're dating, you are building trust day by day and month by month. And you guys both have these presuppositions on what you're going to receive and give. And then what happens is, and this is the part that really pisses me off, when we're going through these presuppositions of what we can assume by the other, what I can expect from you, you can expect from me, and life is going well, we literally are allowing people to get a flicker of hope. And we don't care that when we snuff that hope out,
Man.
it dims your light. And we say, oh, it just didn't work out.
Right.
It just wasn't a good fit.
Dang.
You had no intention on making good on those presuppositions. And that's why I think we must teach people, you must go into it knowing that that person has some type of disorder or they've come out of disorder.
Right.
And you must, before you get married, talk about, discuss, and walk down what that looks like. We are taught not to ask the right questions because the right questions are impeding upon a person's privacy. Your privacy goes out the window when you say you want to say I do to me.
But yeah,
There is no privacy.
No, there is none. But my thing is this: during the dating period is the best exit.
Yes.
My thing is, we talk about, you see the red flags before you even say I do.
We hope they do.
They do.
everybody's not taught that red flags are red flags. Some people are brought up and raised in chaos, and so they look for chaos because they're comfortable in it. So they don't view a healthy person sees red flags. A person that has PTSD,
They don't.
you see night terrors.
Yeah.
And them night terrors are real. So when they come to you, that woman, that man, they're coming with what they believe. Watch this. They come to you broken thinking they healed. Because their environments, what's broken is normal.
It's normal.
So
yeah.
it ain't even an issue. It ain't nothing to diagnose. And then when you come and say that's not right, now you tripping. And you mean, no, you're broken.
Right.
Oh, now you judging me. See, now you're going through all that.
Right.
And I think that's because we're not willing to have the conversations of, here's an example. Say you have a baby mama. Think about what this means. A man has sex with you. You got pregnant. Y'all had a kid. It didn't work out. So let's be 100 for a second. That woman's body, is it more valuable on the market of men post-pregnancy or pre-pregnancy?
Depends.
Pre-pregnancy.
I mean,
If we're being honest,
If you being 100, I don't know a man on the world that says I would rather have a post-pregnancy body than a pre-pregnancy body. Come on.
no, of course not the body.
That's my
but-
point. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm saying is the idea is we have created a culture that relationships don't matter, commitments don't matter, but then on the natural side, the impact of my actions on you bodily don't matter. Why? Because the man's body is unaffected. So we can walk away and our body, as far as value, doesn't even change, but hers does. So the next man doesn't get the body you experience. They get the post you that you were not willing to commit to, but you were willing to help destroy.
Yeah.
that's what makes it devastating, and that's what makes
That's
the
what I'm
betray-
saying.
the betrayal even more so. Because not only do I have this body, but I have this child to raise by
There
myself.
you go. I left you in a position that told you you were not worthy of me staying. But you were worthy of me taking all of the good parts, the best parts, the younger parts, and I'm not only going to help you mess your body up, I'm going to leave you with a responsibility and say, go figure it out.
Yeah, that's cold on the
The
man's
woman's
part.
body post-pregnancy depreciates naturally. The man's doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why you must find somebody. Now, put it this way. You have to marry somebody that says your body is an asset pre and post baby.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often because the person I'm with, I'm only with them for the body I met before the baby.
Yeah.
So why would you ever think I'm going to stay post when I only came for the present? Because I'm not committing myself to you. I'm committing myself to pleasure. We commit to pleasure and we think pleasure going to keep them. It's not. This is going to sound terrible. There's more than one vagina in the earth.
Of course.
As a result, you can't think I'm going to keep a man through sex.
No.
Oh, you know, my sex is bomb. It sounds good.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is you're Tuesday. You're Tuesday. And no one has that conversation. So now they think, oh, man, wait a minute. I'm special. No, it's not.
Right.
And somebody has to say it's not special. Why? Because now you will go develop other things people are not developing that makes you special.
See, yeah, because we're telling you, listen, I don't want to do what it takes to get this thing from you that should require commitment.
Yep.
But as a woman, you're saying I don't require a commitment for you to have it.
Nope.
Right.
So then, but you expect a commitment after you gave it,
That's the point.
right? So in that situation, you just devalued yourself to say I'm going to give you something that's only should be given in the context of a relationship and commitment, marriage. But I'm gonna give it to you beforehand, and I'm gonna give you the credit of character before you demonstrated that you have it.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out too late that you don't have the character I gave you in advance on.
Yep. And you ain't going to pay it back.
No, No, but I don't need. I don't even need that because my value of myself is low.
It's already low, and you've already given. That's why I believe virginity, and it's the crazy part. Right now, virginity is a commodity when it should be just the base entry level thing. We have made virginity like it's this huge thing when virginity should be normal.
Right.
But it's not normal. If you meet a virgin, you're shocked. Wanna know why? Because we don't view sex as something that is to treasure. That's why a man don't mind running through you because there's no lock on it. The community has access.
It's crazy because I'm just thinking of, years ago, like how generations change. When you were younger, you were saying you were looking for the pure virgin girl because you wanted a girl like that. This is like, pre this generation.
Yeah.
Now they like, if you're a virgin, like, I don't want that. You ain't experienced.
Right.
Yep.
Because
You know
we're looking for the girls that can twerk.
I just heard that
Yeah.
from somebody last week. They literally said, I can't buy it until I have the experience to perform like it first.
Right.
And I was like, you just said that. But they meant it though. And that's why I think when it comes to sex, this is the thing. If we don't value it before, why are you getting angry when they don't value it with you after?
Yeah, it's just
I wasn't even faithful on the beginning part. So why are you expecting the faithful part on the end part? Watch this. You met her and y'all got it on in 7 days. So if you got it in 7 days, why can't he get it in 14?
That's the tough man.
I'm saying.
Look, I'm doing it different. Which
I think that's the
should.
attempt.
You should.
Yep. I just think that many people, we are not being honest. And we're not saying, you know what? There are levels to this thing.
Yeah.
And there is growth that has to take place. And I have to come into it knowing that I have something that's used that I'm willing to put work in to make it go the distance.
But yeah, you got to think nowadays it's like you said, well, if I'm getting with her, I got to see what it is first. And nowadays women is the same way. I got to see what it is first before I say I do to this, because if it's whack, I don't want no parts of it. That's why it's no value in it at all. Saying, you know what? Hey, you know what?
That's the thing, though. If there is no value in it, but then I still get angry
because you don't value it.
There you go.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. Like when you women, the mindset of a woman right now in these days and times. A lot of times when you're trying to find that mate, you're trying to find that relationship. A lot of times they're thinking, look, if I don't give it to him, somebody else will.
Yeah.
Because the self-value is saying, look, I don't think I can find a real one. This guy is mostly what I want, mostly what I desire. And whatever he's not, I can mold him into. But in order to keep him, I gotta give him something because I know he's a valuable man or whatever the case.
Right.
So I gotta give him this thing in order to get him and then to keep him. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Right. Yeah.
So now that self-value is just out the window.
Yeah.
You know?
So Sonia asked a question. I'm going to bring it up. She said, had a conversation on this very thing. They ask, what happens when sex is not good post-marriage? And you know what's crazy about that question? I have heard that a million times. And many times, and it's the key. Well, watch how deep this is, though. The only way they know that sex is not good post-marriage is because they had so many partners to compare it to.
Oh,
My thing is, if you're a virgin, you don't know nothing. So all you know is what you had. But if you had 10, 15, 20 people, now you are stuck in that spot she's talking about. It's not good. Watch this. Because you being honest. And you're comparing what you had in the past to what you have now. But again, the reason I can have that conversation of it not being good is because I'm comparing it to what I believe was good. The real question I would ask is this, though. You're comparing it to good sex that ain't even there no more. Why not?
Right, because look, this the code.
No, I'm saying, I'm
Let's
Paul.
hold that.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm saying you comparing it to sex from the past.
Yeah.
But where is he? Where is she though?
Right.
The sex wasn't so good that you ain't leave because you on to the next person. So if that good sex didn't keep you, maybe this bad sex will.
Hey, maybe you need to look at something else.
There you go.
No, okay.
Because clearly good sex don't work for you.
There you go.
All right,
Good sex didn't work.
Here's the thing. So let me try to work with her on this question as well, because that's a bomb that you just got to sit and hold for a while.
right.
But practically speaking as well, make it good, right?
Create
so whatever is not there, okay, you have to. See, a lot of times we just want to say what ain't.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do the work of what can be, right? We look at it from a negative point of view, as if this thing in this reality in this time is all that will ever be.
Yeah.
So bad sex today means bad sex forever. You know what's driving that? Fear, right? So I have the fear that today equals tomorrow, right? The optimism isn't there. But if you look at it from the position of love, which is a positive thing, you will say, look, this interaction of sex is intimate. We're going to have to build that. This is not something that happens overnight, though. And we got to not forget that part, that intimacy is built and earned through trust and an intentionality to please the other partner. How do I even know what good sex is in the context of this relationship? Because I'm with a whole different person. So that intimacy you're comparing to is another person. So the intimacy we need to build needs to be based on this relationship.
Yeah.
So it's not just physical, it's all the other things that combined with it.
And I'm gonna go a step further. That's way on the line.
Okay, here we go.
I'm gonna go all the way out.
All right, come on.
I'll be 100 with you.
Yeah.
If the person is saying the sex ain't good,
Okay.
that means they have an idea of what good is. Correct?
Yeah.
All right.
So at some point, that person knows what they like. They know what they don't like. There has to be a conversation of, what did you experience that you did like?
Sure.
Why? Now, I'm not saying that's an easy conversation, but the reality is they're comparing you already anyways. They'll lie and say they're not. They are.
Right.
They know what good was.
Yeah.
I don't know a man on this earth, if they're not a liar, if they've had good or bad sex, they know it. They'll lie and say, I ain't never compared. You're a liar and the truth ain't in you.
Man.
They're not going to tell the person. So what happens? You got to be able to have, most people aren't even comfortable enough in a relationship to tell them something small they don't like without an argument.
Right.
Let alone come and tell you, hey, you know what? Like, the sex ain't as good as I would like it to be. That would be a category 5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, most people don't have a relationship at the level where they can be so honest and say, you know what? I think our sex has to be revamped.
Last night was trash.
There you go. It wasn't good.
You don't say it like that.
Yes, I'm
but
saying. But I can look in your eye and know I did not please you, right? You didn't please me, type thing. But there has to be a conversation. So you know what? Hey, listen. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe you don't know what you're doing. Maybe we have to be able to communicate. Watch this. I don't got to communicate what's not. I can communicate what is. Meaning, I don't have to tell you everything that's wrong. So if you're doing something, I can say, you know what? I would like if you do it like this. So I didn't have to say what you did wrong. I'm telling you how to do it right. So sometimes, even if you're having sex or something like that, you got to communicate, you know what? I really like when this happens. Like, I'm really pleased when this takes place. Or
Because that's right for me.
there you go.
Yeah.
And so now it's a conversation of allowing a person to say, because this is the key. At the end of the day, if a man is not pleasing his wife, he going to be insecure.
that's a
Oh,
tough
for
one.
sure.
Period.
Yeah.
Because now he's thinking, I'm not enough. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Because I haven't met a man in any conversation that don't want to say he out here putting it down.
Right.
Right.
But you got to but you got to think.
Let's
I'm
give the
saying.
honesty there.
That's what I'm
true.
saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like you can think you putting it down. But my thing is this, the cats do know that they've been known to give trash because it's been talked about. Let's not play this game. Like, you just, Mr. Hammer Man. Like, get up out of here. Like, so most cats need to stop it with that.
Yeah.
You may need help, bruh.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, be 100. Like, if your wife, girl, somebody say, hey, you know what you just did, I ain't really with that.
Yeah.
It ain't saying that what you did, you trying to do something you did with so many other people, they may have liked that.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
but that conversation is so hard people to have.
Oh,
But
yeah,
here's
it
the thing.
is. But they have to have it.
I agree.
There is betrayal even in this context. Because imagine you don't have that communication, you don't have that conversation about how the sex or the intimacy is not pleasurable.
Yeah.
And imagine finding it out in a counseling session or in some other way that's not a direct conversation about what I could be doing.
Right.
So I'm finding out in a context that's like not even safe for me.
Yeah.
So we need to have those conversations in real time. We need to say what it is, say what we want, and not leave our mate thinking that they're doing something they're not.
And I think a part of the betrayal in marriage is, I've done life coaching with a lot of women where they would tell them to their face in that environment, I be faking it. Many times they fake orgasm.
Yeah.
But it's the thing. I know, and many people haven't researched it. I've read all kind of stuff, but 80%, 80% of women, if they're having sex, they will not have an orgasm from penile penetration alone. 80% will not, which means there has to be other oral stimulant in order for her to have an orgasm, be pleased, etc. I don't hear that conversation very often. Hey, listen, when you sleep with your spouse, 80% of women are going to require more than just you going inside of her. 8 out of 10 will not climax. You need to put in some work, brother. And I think that many times when we get with somebody, we're not taught to serve that person.
No.
We're not taught, when you get married as a husband, your responsibility is to please your wife. And I'm not talking, now, I ain't talking all the spiritual, I'm talking about the straight natural.
Right. Yeah.
I ain't talking about praying in tongues, shinabo hanamai.
Right.
I'm talking about you go into it saying, I'm getting ready to rock your world before I ever get mine. So I'm going to make sure you are so satisfied
Right.
that you're going to be begging to take care of me.
Right.
And I don't believe most men are taught when you go to your bed chamber or wherever you smashing at, you go into it with a servant's mentality.
Right.
Right.
So that changes the game.
It definitely does. And too much of the time, you said 80% of women will not have this right response. You know how many men are having orgasms?
All of them.
Right? 100%. Okay.
All of them.
So see, that
Unless they got some health issues. All of them.
it speaks to the selfishness that we're talking about in men, where it's like, you know what? I'm going to get mine.
I am.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm 100% going to get mine. So yeah, a lot of men, when you talk to them, they don't like foreplay. A lot of women complain, man, he don't never want to beforehand do anything, right? And women, almost 100% of them will tell you, I prefer foreplay because it gets me in the mindset I need to.
Yep.
But men are like, look, ground and pound. I'm in that thing. I'm in that joker.
Right.
Period. And I'm going to get mine.
Right.
And I don't even care how quick I
You
get
better
it.
hurry up. Get yours.
So yeah, like you said, if I love this person, we're talking about making love.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, we talk about, making love. But we know that making a cake or baking a cake takes ingredients.
Yeah.
Right.
But we don't think about that when we're talking about making love, though. And that goes back to what we were talking about. You married a person who's not really good at laying it down.
Yeah.
Well, you got to make love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It takes intentionality. It takes ingredients. You can't tell me that there aren't enough ingredients in the world to make yours work.
Yeah.
There's something in there you could be doing to make that experience
But
more
you're not willing
pleasurable.
to spend the time in the store to find the right ingredients.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm gonna even go a step further. Foreplay doesn't just start in the bed.
I agree.
Woo!
I agree.
I'm warming her up before I get home.
There you go. Vum, vum.
No, I'm just saying though, you don't understand. Like
I get it.
there's certain
Yeah.
things you can do
Yeah.
just throughout the day.
Yeah.
Hey, I love you, girl.
Yeah.
I mean, just little things like that.
Yeah.
That's foreplay. That's
Yeah.
a form of foreplay.
Have y'all ever? No, I had a thought. Have y'all ever been talking just mad junk during the day? Like I have. And I get home, you getting murdered. I mean, I'm in my phone, dog. I'm out here just talking junk. Like, you meet me at the door. Like, right, dog. I go home, be knocked out. Wait,
Man.
I am threatening her life. I mean, I'll put threats all up in the text thread.
Hey.
I mean, death threats.
Hey, what happened?
Out.
What happened? The work day kicked your butt.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Get home and be
All
like,
night, all day.
dog,
When I'm done with you ain't even gonna look the same.
wheelchair status. And I'm in the bed snoring, though.
Hey,
like,
you be like this. You know you fall asleep like, hey, babe, I got you tomorrow.
Look,
in the morning.
Right. That morning, that morning bad breath.
my
You mean that dragon breath?
Man,
Oh my goodness, that has happened to me too many times.
that's funny though.
Oh,
It is though.
It happened to me. I'm like, I be talking so much junk, and I be like, yeah, I'm about to get a ring.
I mean, but that tells you that
Look, don't let it be where you know went to work, went to the gym, and you go home. You like,
Yeah.
I done sat in the sauna 20 minutes, bro. It's over.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I will say though, I think that many times that we expect a person to serve us in the bedroom when they've never served us in a relationship.
oh,
And that's what I'm saying. I think it starts at the beginning. The way in which I serve you in life is how I'm going to serve you in life.
sure.
And finding a servant leader, 'cause that's a husband, a servant leader, is not everywhere. And that's why we got to stop pretending as if these people can be found everywhere. They can't. Good men, good women are not on every corner. You may never get a second chance. You may never get a redo. So this is the thing. We got to learn how to polish our jewel with the crack in it.
Yeah.
We got to learn how to find value and shine it. Because the reality is everything's coming with a form of PTSD relationally. And so whether it's sexually, it may not be who the other woman was. I got a friend that I know that was with a young lady, and she's in like a extreme athlete, like super high level athlete, and dancer, etc. And so sexually, she was able just to do things that were the average woman just cannot do.
Right.
Just bodily, because she's at the level of athleticism.
Right.
That's just not normal for the regular person. Gymnastic status. You get my point?
Yeah.
And I was talking about it, and I said, dude, like, how do you, and just, boy, dude, I said, how do you walk that down?
Right.
And he was like, dude, it's not comparable. He said, so what he had to do is, he said, if I compare, everybody loses. He said, so what I learned I had to do was I got to find the thing that she does well, and I keep my intentionality only on that.
Yeah.
He says, because I can lie, but I know it'll never measure up.
Right.
And I think sometimes we have to be willing to wave the white flag and say, because of my past choices, I can't fix certain things, but I can focus on certain things.
Right.
So I think the discipline becomes, as a servant leader, I'm going to choose to switch my focus on what builds this and not on what reminds me of that.
Right.
And to me, I think that is choosing that person all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you mentioned too, man, that someone can have post-traumatic stress disorder from the sexual experience.
Absolutely.
So I might not be good in bed because I got trauma.
There you go.
So now if I have that relationship, I have the potential in that relationship to love on you through that, to get the healing I need so that I can become what I've never been.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that's where your love goes into the relationship and how that can transform somebody, and you can actually do good by being patient.
Many times a person doesn't like having sex with the lights on because they don't like themselves. They don't like how they look. They don't like their physical appearance. I love the lights on.
You want to see everything.
I want to see everything.
Right.
I told my wife, I love how your body look. My wife's had a child.
Right.
I don't care about none of that.
Right.
I love how her body looks.
Right.
But I do understand if I was a woman, I may not like everything about my body.
Sure.
But my thing is, and this I always tell her, I like it.
Right.
So I don't care what anything out here says. I'm looking you eyeball and eyeball and saying, I want it every time.
Right.
And I think many times, let me put it this way. I think it's hard for a person to believe what you're telling them.
Oh, for sure.
Because the society say something different. I want the lights on because I love what I see.
Yeah.
You want the lights off because you don't believe I love what I see.
Right.
And because in your mind, I'm not my best version. It's the key though. I knew what I was saying yes to and I still said yes.
Right.
See, that's what I'm saying helps heal people. I see your PTSD because you were honest with me.
Right.
And I'm still going to choose you. That helps a person begin to heal and begin to mend. The problem is when we ignore we minimize, rationalize, over spiritualize what really happened. And now when a person sees you, you don't believe they can appreciate the used version.
Right.
This is the key. I wasn't her first, but by hell, I'm going to be her last, though.
Right.
It's all perspective.
Right.
So I'm saying the way in which you choose to view it says, yes, you have a daughter, but I chose that. So don't look at yourself and say, why wouldn't I choose you? Look at yourself and say, why did he?
Right.
And I believe that's the inward value we help people, our spouses, whomever, find, is that I said, do you think me choosing you was a mistake?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like I just.
Did somebody put a gun in my head?
Right.
Did somebody drag me down to the altar, or did I walk on my own free flourishing?
Right.
So how about this? Act like I chose you. Pause. Live like I chose you. Why? Because I'm going to live like you chose me.
Right.
With every flaw, every crack, every dirt spot, you chose me. I'm going to act like you did.
Yeah.
So my thing is, give me the honor to know you've been chosen.
And what helps your psyche, if you're in that position where you're like, look, I don't know why he chose me. Ask yourself this question. Was I honest through the process? When we were dating, was I honest? If I was honest, then he chose based on information that I gave. So it wasn't a mistake.
Wasn't a mistake.
But you should be sweating bullets if you built it on falsities and lies.
And
you
lies,
out there
yeah.
now. Yeah, you out there now.
Talk to me.
Yes. If you built it on those false presuppositions, I can fully understand the fear.
Yeah.
But this is the most gangster part. Many times when once a person, their trust has been shattered, it's not that it can't be repaired. Sometimes it doesn't work out.
Right.
But it's possible to repair. And the way in which it's repaired is in a way to where we value truth over consequence. And what I do is I say, you know what? The first version of me, I told you certain specs came with it, and I knew it did not. Right. So what I'm about to do is I'm getting ready to pull out this manual, and I'm going to tell you, watch this, if you do me the honor of choosing me again, let me prove to you that you picked right the first time.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, is it a gamble? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it going to be hard? Heck yeah. But there is a level of penance, a level of empathy
Right.
that I can show you to let you know this apology is from the soul.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I dare you to give me a second chance.
Right.
See, watch this. The repentance has to be as intentional as the betrayal.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It does. So what you're saying is, and I say this sometimes from time to time, people want to say sorry. They want to say sorry. And they think that sorry is enough, right? I'm going to say this sorry. I'm going to apologize.
Yeah.
But what you really have to do, what you were talking about, repentance is this. You have to live sorry. You have to live sorry out.
Yeah.
Sorry is not a word you say. It's something you live and something you do. You got to do different. You got to live sorry.
That's good.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, people get that twisted all the
You
time.
have to live sorry.
You gotta live. You gotta live in repentance, man. You gotta live in knowing that every day, this is going to be it. But you're giving your best version of yourself, helping that person get through.
I don't need to hear yours. I don't need to hear your sorry. I need to feel your
You need
sorry.
to feel it. Your actions gonna show.
That is a lot on it. There's this, we're going to wrap up. There's this quote that said, "I'm not crying because of you. You are not worth it. I'm crying because my delusion of who you were was shattered by the truth of who you are."
Wow.
I'm crying because the delusion of who you were was shattered by the truth of who you are. I think that betrayal, it shatters the delusion. And we fell in love with the delusion. Yeah. And I believe that betrayal is recoverable only when the person that was the one deceiving says, I am going to go back and I'm going to tell you how I built the delusion, how I schemed on the delusion so that you know all the signs of it, so you know I'm never going to become it again.
Right.
The repairing phase looks like the deception phase in reverse.
Right. Yeah.
It's almost like when you have a car and they build the car, that's the deception. How do we unravel the deception? Take the car apart in reverse order.
Yeah.
Show me every screw. Show me every piece. Show me every fabric.
Right.
Why are you telling me these things? Because I want to show you what I'm never going to be again.
Yeah.
I want you to see the signs. I want you to know what it feels like, looks like, where it came from, where I ordered. I want you to know every trick I had, because I'm never going to be that person again. I'm going to give you the secrets you couldn't find. That's the thing. I'm going to volunteer what you didn't ask.
Yeah.
That way you know that what you get now and what I'm building now is the real thing. And even the real thing is hard to get into, because I remember when I sit in the seat of the new thing, I have the PTSD of my last car crash.
Yep.
So watch this. So when I pull off slow, don't tell me to speed up. Watch this. Tell me to put my seatbelt on. Just in case.
Just in case.
Why? Now you do things that protect me, but don't please you.
Right.
You don't like driving slow. So what? Go 25. Seatbelt. Why? Because you feel safe.
Right.
It ain't about me no more. And I think that many times when it comes to betrayal, we have to look and watch. We have to look at it this way. When I betray you, I made you have a presupposition that you were safe. But when I betrayed you, I proved you were not safe with me. So when I ask you to come back, let me move in a way that acknowledges the first time you trust me, you were not safe. Why would I expect you to assume you're going to be safe the second time? So I'm going to be patient, not until you trust me, until I prove trustworthy.
Pause. Prove trustworthy.
Yeah.
We're categorizing this whole conversation, we've been categorizing two different types of people. Okay. And I just want to point out the difference. There are batteries, rechargeable batteries, and there are people who are outlets, power outlets. Right? What's happening is the rechargeable battery is looking for a power source, but it's a finite source. So what they do is, these are people with the bad character we're talking about, facades. I look like a power source, but I run out.
Right.
But I'm looking for outlets that I can get fueled by.
Right.
But I add no value to.
Right. So the outlet needs to start looking for batteries.
Right.
Because you don't have enough to sustain. And I'm the source of all the energy of this relationship? No. Outlets need to look for other outlets.
Right.
Okay? And identify the batteries.
Right. I hope
I'm going to just leave that there.
Hey, I hope
my
everybody
God.
caught that.
Oh, Jesus.
I hope everybody caught that.
You have outlets that marry rechargeable batteries, and the outlet is angry. Watch this, with their choice.
Oh, that's the other side of it.
You chose the battery. You knew the battery couldn't recharge you. The battery couldn't pay your light bill.
Man.
We have many outlets that are marrying batteries, and we're getting mad when the battery run out. Wow. I'm telling you, we have to choose different.
Look, not only choose different, everybody that's in here that heard this tonight, if you don't want to have no parts of betrayal, everything he said before this part, truthful, honest, because then there's no betrayal, because betrayal is breaking trust. So if I come in honest, there's nothing for me to break.
And we have to have the goal to ask the questions.
Yes.
Because the thing, you can't accuse me of betrayal when you never asked.
Right.
You can't accuse me of betrayal when you never wanted to know. Because I'm going to say, well, you didn't ask me. I wasn't lying. You didn't want to know.
You never asked.
And that's why I'm saying, I think sometimes when you go into a marriage, you need to know. You need to know. Here's a great one here, and we're going to wrap it up. Sandy Butler said, the battery is dead and can't recharge.
Exactly.
That's some relationship. Some people have put the relationship on the line so much so that the relationship dies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And no matter what you plug in, the device is broken.
Man,
It don't matter.
because rechargeable batteries get to where they can't recharge
Absolutely.
anymore.
Yep.
Done.
Done.
Because the thing was, you was taking too much.
Man,
You took so much, you killed yourself.
Man.
I can't,
man.
I can't.
Oh. Yeah, Rich, man, this has been a great conversation.
Yeah, this is heavy, and we'll do a part 2 next week because we have so much we didn't even get close to. But I really hope if you were listening tonight, and then those that people watch during the week as well, I really hope that you were taking some notes during this one. This has been very, very informative, honest, raw, and I think and it's indicative of what My Convo 360 is all about, and it is having honest, uncut, raw, unfiltered conversations that help all of us grow, develop, and become better. And so really quickly before we close up, I want to make a few plugs. Please go to follow my brother Eric here at Instagram at WeDoWork_fitness. On Instagram at WeDoWork_fitness. Also, my brother Leon, the Phenom Martin. Visit his Instagram at lion.i. Again, that's lion.i. And last but not least, follow me on Instagram at Kenyon Encourage. That is Kenyon Encourage. Follow the show on YouTube. That is very important. We want to continue building our YouTube channel at My Convo 360. Follow our Facebook at My Convo 360. So all of our viewers, all those that are supporting the show, please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at My Convo 360. We want to thank you guys so much again for your time. Thank you for spending time with us, sharing this evening with us. It was very, very informative and impactful. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.